video, we will be predicting all of the Week 2 NFL games. Last week, I went 12-4, and this is being recorded quite late compared to what I want to do. I don't know if you can read this. It is 6:54 on Thursday night, so just before Thursday Night Football starts, we're getting this out. So yes, you'll see this video after Thursday Night Football starts, but you'll know, hey, at least I'm recording it on time, kind of-ish, not really. Either way, before we get into this video, let me remind you, check out Dubby.gg and use code SHREDDER for 10% off your order on anything on their website. Code SHREDDER, SHRD3R, get you 10% of some great energy drinks or anything else on their website. And don't forget, it will be linked in the description, so click it on there. Also, check out my new merch. I will be showing off some of it soon. I have some coming in very soon. I'm excited about it. Some great t-shirts. They're very high quality, comfort colors t-shirts. They feel good, look good. Really excited about it. Either way, click those links down below and let's get right into this video. All right, here we go. Starting off on this AFC matchup. Starting with Thursday Night Football because, hey, it starts in 5 minutes at this time. We're going to start off, Buffalo's winning this game. I have no doubts in my mind about it. That means they're going to lose, right? No, probably not. Buffalo, they beat up on Miami pretty much every time. Buffalo is just the better team, in my opinion. They have the best player on the field at any moment of time. Josh Allen. End of story. Moving on. The New York Jets, the Tennessee Titans. This is actually a really interesting one. I think the Titans could come in here and shock the Jets a little bit and put the Jets on a really bad foot, but I do think the Jets get their first win of the season here in Week 2. You're probably going to see mess-ups from Will Levis. J.C. Latham, I've told you guys, he's not a tackle. And guess what? Last week, he did not look like a tackle. He's one of the worst graded tackles in the league last week. He's not a good tackle. He's a guard, if anything, in the league. He's not fast enough. He was beat up by speed all last week versus the Bears. Moving on, though, the Browns versus Jaguars. That's a good one. Jaguars, though. I think when they're at home, they almost beat the Dolphins last week. The only thing that comes down to it is, ultimately, they have an offense. Trevor Lawrence can throw the ball. End of story. Then the Baltimore Ravens coming off of the mini-bye, they're going to beat up on the Raiders. Of course they are. They're the Raiders. End of story. I just don't have to say anything else about it. We're going to skip down to this one. Sunday. I think this might be Sunday night. I'm not entirely certain. Does it tell me? No, it's at 3 o'clock. Okay. This is a good one. I would not be terribly shocked if the Bengals came out and shocked the Chiefs. They're obviously a good team. They struggled last week. They lost to the Patriots. But this is a game that they're going to compete harder in either way. I went 12-4 last week. Pretty good record. This is the kind of game that'll really trip you up because, let's be real, yeah, they struggled last week, but the Bengals are not a bad team. They just had a bad week. I'm still going with Kansas City. They're at home. That's really what brings it to me here. And plus, the question of Joe Burrow's health. That is another big question. Denver, Pittsburgh, big-time game here because this is going to mean a lot. If Justin Fields play and he plays well, he's going to end up with a job, whether he should or shouldn't. In my opinion, he shouldn't have the job even this week. If Russell Wilson's even close to healthy enough, you don't want to have two quarterbacks. And I think playing Russell Wilson, as long as he's at least 90%, shows you that you have one quarterback. Because Justin Fields, yes, he played last week. He was hurt. Russell Wilson was hurt. He's going to, Justin Fields did his backup duties. All right, now it's time to move on. I think you play Russ. And if Russ plays bad, all right, well, give him another week. Let him get under his feet a little bit. And then look to move on from him if he keeps showing up poorly. This is your classic Mike Tomlin loss, though. Bo Nix looked terrible. Watch him tear up the Steelers for no reason. I am going to go Pittsburgh just because I have to put my faith in Mike Tomlin, but this is one of those games that is kind of concerning for little to no reason at all. We'll go to the NFC side for this week, and let's save these for the last one. The Niners versus the Vikings. I have to go the Niners. I don't know if I can trust Sam Darnold enough yet. However, even if they lose, if he plays well, this is a game that he's going to really be proving a lot in. This is also his old team, so there's a lot to see from there. The Saints at the Cowboys, I'm going with the Cowboys. They're just the better team. The Saints had a great week last week, and they beat up on a inferior division opponent. It is what it is. I think we see, the standard Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr a lot, but I think, he is himself, and that's it. What he was in Oakland, maybe. I think that's very reasonable. I think last year was a misinterpretation of what Derek Carr was. At this point, that can change. But the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They are a good team. They, beat up on the Browns, who had no offense. But this team's going to have some offense, that's for sure. I think it's a closer game. Let's say maybe 28-20. something like that. Giants and Commanders. As bad as the Giants are, I do think they win this game. I think Jaden Daniels, this is going to be a shootout for all the wrong reasons. Both teams stink, and that's what it's going to be. Whose defense can stand up? I think we see the Giants defense get a little active here and just take down on the mistakes of a rookie. Daniel Jones does have a good track record against the Commanders, and I think that's going to be enough to get the job done. The Bucs at the Lions. This is going to be a good one, I think. I don't think Baker Mayfield's going to be the same guy he was last week. If he was, it'd be insane. He'd be the front runner for the MVP at this point because he'd have 8 touchdowns in 2 weeks. But I think the Lions are the better team, man. I just do. I think that's the only thing I can come out to here. They're at home. They're the better team. They beat the Rams, who are probably about an equal opponent to the Bucs in my opinion. Honestly, they're pretty similar. But the Lions have done more, been there, done that. I think I trust Jared Goff and the Lions as a whole more than I trust the rest of the Buccaneers outside of Baker, really. Obviously, I'm not saying anything bad about Mike Evans, but just the execution, I think the coaching in Detroit's better. Rams-Cardinals. Rams. I like to see Marvin Harrison get active before I give him any kind of credit at all. I need to see Marvin Harrison do more before they win a game at this point. And Monday Night Football, Eagles, Falcons. I think Eagles handle the Falcons, man. I don't think this is going to be a game. I think it's going to be a really crappy Monday Night Football game. I hope it's not. I hope Kirk Cousins looks himself. He didn't seem to be very healthy last week versus Pittsburgh, and I hope that is wrong. I would love to see Kirk Cousins be Kirk Cousins, but once again, that's something we're going to have to wait and see big time. Getting into these cross-conference games here, for this first one, I got to go with the Colts. The Jordan Love injury is too serious, and honestly, just coaching-wise, I trust Steichen plus the normal starters versus LaFleur, who I like as a coach, versus that and Malik Willis. I was on a big hype train for Malik Willis when he came into the league, and I'm going to die on the hill that Malik Willis should have never touched the field in year one. I understand Tannehill got hurt and he had to play. I don't care. I think you have to sign me before you play Malik Willis. You have to do something else besides him because he was too raw. Guys like him come into the league and they end up having to play, and then they develop these bad tendencies that become their normal tendencies, and that's not okay. He's too raw. He should have sat. Either way, I hope he plays well. I really hope he does. I hope to see really good things from Malik Willis. He's a stud athlete, but that doesn't always make you a good football player. We'll got to see. Going to the Chargers. Okay, end of the game. Seahawks-Patriots. Maybe a week ago, you would not have thought this would be a close game whatsoever, but after the Patriots beat the Bengals, you don't know. And there's also the way they travel. That could play into things here a little bit. Players always say, going from west to east is harder than going from east to west because you lose time versus gaining time in terms of time zones, if that makes sense to you. Either way, it's a lot to say there. But, it's a legitimate argument for that, and players argue that sometimes. It does make a difference. Hopefully it doesn't play into it. You want the most even game possible. But Patriots at home, they just beat the Bengals. In Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's a big part of this. But at the same time, I have nothing to base myself off of with the Patriots. New quarterback, new coach. At least they have the same quarterback. I'm going with the Seahawks this time. We'll see, though. I wouldn't be shocked if this one go either way. Just like I wouldn't be shocked to see this one go either way. I've predicted long that the Texans have a struggle from year two. They go through some issues. They have a solid season, but not as good as they would have been expected to. Because of sophomore slumps, they happen. It's not a crazy idea. But, no, I think this one, the Texans played a division rival in the Colts last week. It is what it is, but you just don't know with them. The Bears got lucky. They showed nothing offensively. Could we see Caleb Williams show his real offensive power? Possibly, but also that's a lot of something to predict off of what we saw last week. I am going to go with the Texans. But it would not shock me if the Bears won this game either. I do leave that open. However, these are my predictions. Let me know in the comments which one you think is the most wrong, which one's the most right, and I will, hopefully get a lot of these right, but you never know. You have no clue. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Check out all the links below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.